It's very sad. That's the time when you know what war's all about.
And how we didn't all get drowned, I'll never know. It was miracles that day, D-Day.
We had a job to do, and we did it.
D-dagen är historiens mest avancerade operation. Den kom att omfatta 2 miljoner man och tog 3 år att planera. Idag är det 65 år sedan amerikaner, britter och kanadensare landsteg i Normandie.
We left England at 11:30 at night on the 5th of June, and we arrived at the beaches at 6 o'clock in the morning.
We landed here at 6:30 in the morning with tanks. Bombarded the beach, turned round, went out again, and come in behind the infantry, LCAs. We hit the tide high to come in. The tide went out and left us there.
I was with the forward troops coming in the assault craft on Gold Beach, and that was on the 6th of June, about 20 minutes past 7 in the morning. And our objective lies immediately ahead to establish and maintain the beachhead until relief forces came through.
My experience, my D-Day and my birthday was, as I say, we left Portsmouth at 11:30 and arrived at the beaches. We went up on the beach and the bow doors open and the ramp comes down and the tanks all go off, you know. And after they've gone off, the lorries and all that sort of thing go off and follow them. And after they've finished doing that, round the side of the ship are 3-tier bunks. You understand bunks? 3-tier beds round the outside. And then we take on, the ambulances arrive, and then we take on 500 badly wounded soldiers. These guys have just run up the beach. They've got a bullet or a piece of shrapnel or something in them. They go into a dressing station in the sand beach, in the dunes, and they put a patch on them, and we bring them back home, and they're home in the hospital within the day. It's very sad. That's the time when you know what war's all about.
Feelings? I was on a gun, coming in. I can't say what I felt like. What are you doing there? You say a little prayer to yourself. You know, you don't have to pray in a church. You're standing there. Firing at the beach, not at anybody particular. You're just firing to put a barrage up, you know.
They were incorporated with individual fighting. As a soldier coming across the rough weather, they were very sick, and they were ill, most of them. I know because we had to clean their mess up, where they were being seasick. And they were glad to get off at the landing craft to fight. Believe it or not, that's that.
We had the landing aborted because the American crew didn't take us in far enough, and the ramp went down right angles to the boat, and we had to go down a gangway on the side of the ship. And then it was whoop, 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 whoop. And before we went down the gangway, the officer said, you, and you, 5 of the big men, take one of those ashore with you, right? So we looked down on the deck, and there were 5 folded bicycles there. Right? So we looked, what the devil do we want bicycles for? So he said, come on, quick, get to it. So we were in a hurry, we were there to land. And down, 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 then the water come up, and the little man in front of me, he said his pack disappeared, and then his entrenching tool disappeared, and then his helmet disappeared, and we had a rope that the American crew had taken out for a guide rope, and I thought, he's going to drown. So I let the rope go, and then I grabbed him by the by the neck of his battle dress blouse, and I lifted him up till he could breathe. And then, of course, it was my turn then, and my pouches with my grenades in it, everything disappeared, and then they come up to my neck, and then they come up to my nose, and I thought, oh, this is it, my last breath. So I took a deep breath, then I was under the water. And how we didn't all get drowned, I'll never know. It was miracles that day, D-Day. Miracles happened. And it's only God above knows how we were able to get onto the beach.
Invasionen delades upp i 5 landstigningsränder: Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno och Sword. Landstigningen kom att omfatta en styrka på omkring 150 000 man.
It was tough going because we were supposed to take Caen on the first day. That was the plan, but it didn't work out like that. It took 6 weeks to take Caen, and we got in about 8 mile, and then we had to dig in and hold the Germans back so that our people could build up behind us and then try to break out. But the trouble was that Montgomery's plan was to draw the German armour onto our position to allow the Americans to build up the other end, up the Cherbourg area, and then break out that way because there was less German armour in that area.
The German forces had mobilized to a more extensive degree and became quite troublesome for the Allied forces to advance. So of course we were slowed down quite a bit.
We had to get to Hill 112, which was we got there on July 16th, and then on July 17th I got wounded and sent back. But Hill 112 was a very important hill because whoever held Hill 112 held Normandy. You could see all round, and we lost 85 tanks to get the hill. Went up twice. The third time we went up, the Germans to the left, so we got straight onto it. But I was at the side with the 15th Scottish Division, and the division lost about 900 men in one day, so I mean it's quite a battle.
We knew that the Germans were here, but we didn't know exactly where they were. But we did expect a lot of opposition because we knew that they were very heavily fortified. They'd been preparing for defending France for 4 years, so we knew that it was going to be a tough job to get ashore. But we had a job to do, and we did it.
What we expected was the fact that we thought that the place would be in ruins, but it weren't so bad. No, it weren't too bad. No.
Under D-dagen blev 10 000 man skadade eller dödade. Hela operationen i Normandie kom att få förluster på över 200 000 man.
Our tank was hit. I jumped out with my leg burning, and then 6 seconds later the tank blew up, and that was it. Within 24 hours I got another tank, and with my leg all bandaged, for by the medical officer, I found that I was able to carry on, and being an independent tank brigade, we were going to different places where the biggest amount of trouble was. Individually, we had jobs to do. I had to take a platoon of men to a cemetery not too far from here, and it was a new cemetery. They were bringing bodies up from the beach, bodies that had been there since D-Day, buried in the sand temporarily, and they would dig them up. They all had dog tags to say who they were and what religion they were, and according to the religion and so on, they were taken to various cemeteries. It was a very, very difficult job to accept the bodies there, because having been buried in the sand for a month at least, they were partly decomposed, and the smell was pretty awful.
And now the first prisoners are coming in. The first line of defense for the Nazi fortress of Europe.
Feelings for the German soldier, he was a good soldier. The Germans were very, very good fighters. And probably 50% of them had to do what we had to do through the government, and probably the other 50% were volunteers who were sort of Nazis, SS.
If the Nazis won the war, I think I wouldn't have been here today. I would have been shot, because the Nazis and the Germans was, some Germans was good. It was only the bad ones in the SS that really upset me. And when we saw the camps where the Jewish people was captured and enslaved, that was terrible in the war.
And today, this is what we come to respect. These men we didn't take home, and they're here today, and we come to pay our respect to them. It's very sad. That's the time when you know what war's all about.
And how we didn't all get drowned, I'll never know. It was miracles that day, D-Day.
We had a job to do, and we did it.